Megyn Kelly has weighed in on Meghan Markle's failed plan to bag a billionaire as her marriage to Prince Harry becomes more unhappy by the day.
She will find a way to bounce past him to some other taker who might actually just love the guy. She will take her royal kids, who can still go by prince and princess, and find the billionaire.
Less than 24 hours ago, what began as low-key whispers behind closed doors blew up into something way louder, way messier, and impossible to ignore. Meghan Markle was spotted dining out in full view with a Dubai billionaire, and the timing raised eyebrows instantly. While Prince Harry's royal pull seems to be slipping further into the background, Meghan wasn't hiding, wasn't staying quiet, and definitely wasn't trying to blend in. This wasn't a random lunch or a low-profile meetup. It was bold, visible, and loud without saying a word.
Meghan Markle is always attempting to, shall we say, build relationships with very, very, very rich men.
Harry just can't give her anything else anymore. He served his purpose. His purpose is over, and they're no longer aligned in purpose. So it's for her, it's time to move on.
This wasn't an accidental run-in or two people just grabbing food. The location, the visibility, and the moment all scream intention. Meghan didn't just step outside, she stepped ahead of Harry, past the shaky royal exit story, and straight into a brand new spotlight. And let's be real, this follows a pattern people have seen before. As Harry fades from the center of the conversation, Meghan seems to be signaling a fresh chapter.
That Meghan Markle really did expect Harry to be a billionaire when she met him. She was incredibly disappointed to find out he's only worth a couple million, and she's gonna have to actually work and hawk these jams and jellies and dog biscuits to have the lifestyle that she wants.
One that doesn't include a fading royal title, stalled business deals, or unresolved family tension. This wasn't about romance, it was about positioning. Meghan Markle doesn't move without a plan. Every public move, every perfectly timed smile, every moment that just happens to get photographed follows a clear rhythm. So when she's suddenly seen dining with a billionaire who actually lives the ultra-luxury life many assume royalty brings, people start connecting dots fast.
She's already gotten the benefit of her bargain with Harry because she got the title. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be world famous. She wanted the title. You remember when Harry was single, he was the elephant. He was the one, the most eligible bachelor on earth. You could be a royal, you could become world famous overnight. You could live in a castle. You could have access to the crown jewels. You would be a princess. My God, yes, he could have had his pick.
This isn't coincidence. It's messaging. That dinner wasn't about the menu. It was about alignment. She didn't fall into that moment by accident. She curated it. This wasn't a private meeting that leaked by chance. It looked more like a visible reset. Meghan appearing to reclaim control of the storyline while Harry is reportedly staying low in Montecito, trying to hold on to relevance through the last remaining pieces of identity tied to him. The contrast is sharp, and the irony isn't lost on anyone paying attention.
I mean, she flirts openly with other men. I remember when she was at that tennis match, looked like she was flirting with Serena Williams' husband, like with her skirt and just how she just looks at men. Harry, it doesn't matter.
Meghan once said she knew little about royal life before marriage, but it's starting to look like she expected something very different. Royal status doesn't equal billionaire money. There's no endless cash flow, no unlimited private jets, no secret vault that swings open just because you married a prince. When palace life turned into press pressure instead of fairy tale magic, Meghan didn't stall, she pivoted fast. Now Harry appears to be slowly erased from royal relevance, left with a title that carries little power, limited platform, and an unclear future.
This woman is nothing but a publicity whore. It's a term of art. We broke the news that she had Prince Harry on her vision board when she was younger. That was her goal, #goal, to marry Prince Harry. So it was all about getting the title. She's done that now. Now she's just stuck with this depressed ginger who has absolutely no family, no friends, and no money. This was not part of the plan.
Meanwhile, Meghan is moving in full solo mode. No public loyalty posts, no emotional statements, just clean rebranding and very public appearances tied to serious wealth and influence. That's not love, that's groundwork. It looks less like a marriage under stress and more like an exit strategy forming right in the open. And while Meghan projects confidence, history shows big public pivots often come with consequences. Karma tends to keep receipts. The pressure keeps building. The Netflix partnership looks shaky. The royal connection, the core engine of their brand, is losing steam. And when the marriage itself goes quiet, that silence speaks loud.
Royal family, you should be so thankful this woman wanted to leave, because she's not going to bring any good to the branding of royal. She's going to downgrade it to a level of ghetto, and that's what it is. This is just bad.
No official confirmation of a trial separation has dropped, but major outlets keep circling the same takeaway. Separate lives, time apart, individual rebuilds. Translation: the relationship already looks fractured. It just hasn't been announced yet. Trial separations don't show up in strong, steady marriages. They show up when cracks are already baked into the foundation. And in this case, it's not just the relationship feeling the heat. The entire Sussex brand is wobbling right now. Spotify is gone. Netflix looks cautious. And Meghan's recent jump into lifestyle products hasn't caught fire the way it was supposed to. That rollout was meant to scream reinvention, but instead it sparked real questions about direction, timing, and stability.
Because these billionaires can sense one thing. When you're not looking for a partner, you're looking for a solution. And that's obviously the lane that Meghan Markle's in now. She doesn't make really her own money. This whole Netflix thing is just a ruse. We all know this is made up just to give her something to do. Her miraculous renewal for her second season, which was already shot in full by the time the first season was done, meaning they just made some extra episodes and decided to roll out a fake second season as a PR plan, hasn't fooled anybody.
Meanwhile, Harry seems locked onto the Invictus Games, one of the last roles that still feels real and grounded for him. That part tracks, but everything else around him keeps slipping. The separation isn't subtle anymore, it's loud. No joint statements, no shared appearances, no united front pushing back against the noise. When Harry takes hits in the press, Meghan stays silent, polished, and camera ready. Harry fades out of view, and that silence speaks volumes all by itself. According to royal insiders, Meghan initiated the space, not Harry, and that lines up perfectly with what's playing out.
Netflix will, allow their relationship with Prince Harry to expire, but they are holding on tightly to Meghan to work with Meghan in hopes that if there is a divorce, they would get the exclusive and pounce on that access to Meghan, because they know that that's the next big thing that would sell.
She's visible, active, and image-focused. He's withdrawn, reactive, and pushed further to the edge. Harry is now facing a tough question in real time. How do you stay relevant as a duke with no palace, no system backing you, and no shared brand holding things together? That reckoning is happening right in public view. If this separation were really about independent projects, the messaging would be synced. Instead, Meghan moves forward solo. Harry absorbs the fallout alone. No backup, no reinforcement. And at this point, it doesn't feel like a partnership anymore. It feels like a brand breaking down under pressure.
Trick that people do with pineapple, instead of just cutting it to make the perfect little bite, you follow the wedge. When nature has given you all the cues on how to have a perfect taste of something.
Oh, how fun is that? I love it.
I like working hard.
Meghan has already stepped into phase 1 of a solo reset: controlled appearances, strategic visibility, and staying close to real wealth and real influence. Harry, on the other hand, looks frozen in the moment where the fairy tale ends and reality hits hard. He walked away from everything for love. Now that love appears to be moving forward without him, here's the detail that adds another layer to this story. According to royal biographers and palace insiders, Meghan reportedly believed she was marrying into billionaire-level wealth. Endless luxury, no limits, the full fantasy. Instead, she married a prince with a set inheritance and a tightly restricted lifestyle, and that reality reportedly shocked her. There were no castles on demand, no endless vaults of cash. What she got was a historic institution loaded with rules, limits, and nonstop scrutiny. And that realization...
This woman is being paid millions of dollars to show how to cut into a pineapple.
Oh my God. Who the hell is sated by one tiny little bite of pineapple?
Are you taking cooking advice from Meghan Markle in the kitchen?
No, I wouldn't take any of the advice on her show.
It's the biggest piece of dog
may have been the loudest fracture of all. This wasn't the empire she imagined. And now, she appears to be building her own lane. Multiple insiders say Meghan believed Harry wasn't just a prince. He was meant to be a gateway to unlimited power, prestige, and financial freedom. What she actually stepped into was a modest royal cottage, basic furnishings, limited staff, and a lifestyle with strict boundaries instead of unlimited luxury. Cameras everywhere, security protocols at every turn, low ceilings, tight control. The fantasy of palace grandeur faded fast, replaced by something that felt far closer to monitored living than true royal splendor. The gap between expectation and reality was massive. She thought she was stepping into something that looked like Versailles, but instead landed in what insiders quietly described as royal overflow housing. And once that reality fully settled in, people close to the situation say frustration slowly turned into grievance. This wasn't just about money.
He's there, that she's still married. I mean, this woman's going to keep trying to get elevated with the next man because that's what she wants. Because, Harry at this point doesn't even have enough money for her. And so she needs to find a man that's going to really give her what she wants financially.
It cut deeper than that. It was about status. Harry wasn't the royal. He was a royal. Not the heir, not the centerpiece, not the future of the institution, just the spare, as insiders put it. And Harry himself didn't fully clock that difference until Meghan started pointing it out. At first, the shift was subtle. Comparisons, questions, small moments of quiet dissatisfaction. But once that idea was planted, it grew fast. Why aren't we the main characters? That's when everything flipped. The story shifted from opportunity to injustice, from privilege to perceived mistreatment. And from that moment on, the narrative found its voice. Meghan understands optics, timing, and how to dominate a media cycle. So it's not wild to believe she entered royal life thinking the prince package meant global power, private jets, unlimited access, and a lifestyle matching the world's wealthiest elite. Instead, she married a man carrying deep family pain, decades of public pressure, and a financial reality built for comfort, not excess. Enough to live well, but nowhere near the billionaire lifestyle she appeared to expect. When that illusion cracked, the pivot started. She didn't get the fairy tale she imagined, so she began writing a new ending. Meghan doesn't move halfway, emotionally or financially. And now, with billionaire circles quietly forming around her brand, the solo visibility and shifting alliances are getting harder to ignore. Meanwhile, Harry may only now be realizing he could have been the stepping stone, and that Meghan might already be scanning for a better fit. Then came the moment that sent social media into a frenzy. A resurfaced clip went viral where Meghan was asked a simple question: "Do you see yourself married forever?" She technically said yes, but her body language told a different story. Multiple blinks, a delayed smile, a half-formed shrug. It felt less like confidence and more like buffering. It wasn't warmth, it was hesitation. Body language experts jumped in fast, but most viewers didn't need analysis. Anyone who's watched a relationship unravel recognized it instantly. That wasn't love. That was crisis management, and the timing made it louder. That clip resurfaced the same week reports about the billionaire dinner started circulating.
Meghan is living a life that she's winning and she's doing all these great things, but the reality is not that. The reality is she's a joke. It's embarrassing at this point. It's like, oh my gosh, for real, Meghan, you did that? You're gonna keep doing this? I mean, wow.
Call it coincidence or call it choreography, but the contrast was impossible to miss. Her recent interviews follow the same pattern. No shared memories, no affectionate throwbacks, no we language, just abstract talk about growth, healing, and reinvention. Translation: I'm preparing my exit. Please stop asking about the man I once sold as the fairy tale. At the same time, Harry keeps showing up at charity events, leaning into purpose-driven work, holding on to the identity he still believes they share. To a lot of observers, Harry looks loyal, hopeful, and painfully unaware that the brand he's defending has already switched direction. That viral blink wasn't nerves. It looked like a countdown. Meghan isn't playing house anymore, she's playing strategy. Every pause, every silence, every vague answer moves the board forward. And while she's thinking 3 steps ahead, Harry still seems stuck in a totally different game. Silence here doesn't mean confusion, it means calculation. There are no unity photos, no synced messaging, no matching appearances, just absence. And when absence is timed right, it speaks louder than any press statement ever could. Watch the branding closely. Harry's presence hasn't vanished overnight. It's been reduced piece by piece, clean, quiet, and surgical. The shared identity is gone. The messaging has narrowed down to one name, one face, one brand. This isn't a casual business shift. It's a controlled separation wrapped in lifestyle aesthetics. Meghan was always more keynote launch than royal duty. The crown gave her heat, not direction, and now she's sharpening her image by removing anything that doesn't serve the narrative anymore. Behind the scenes, a new storyline is already being floated. Suddenly, sources hint that Harry is emotionally draining, stuck in the past, and not the partner she expected. The irony is loud. She married a man publicly shaped by trauma and displacement, and now appears surprised by exactly that.
As we know, Harry is not the smartest tool in the shed. Is just like, yeah, of course I'm meeting up with X because we need to talk business. We need money. We've got this lifestyle. We need these private jets, etc., etc., etc.
This doesn't read as uncertainty. It reads like preparation. The emotional exit comes before the legal one. The shift away from a power duo is already in motion. She's not drafting a joint statement. She's lining up a solo spread. Soft lighting, California tone, gentle language, a story built around healing after turbulence. That's not heartbreak, that's headline engineering. And here's the twist that makes this even messier. It might actually work. Sympathy can flip fast. Meanwhile, Harry keeps defending a story that may already be archived on her phone. The timing, the silence, the leaks, the spacing, it's starting to feel way too precise to ignore. People are noticing, and not in the way Meghan would want. Hollywood isn't rolling out the red carpet anymore. Smiles look thinner, invitations feel quieter, whispers are getting louder that she's drifting into a category no one wants to sit with for too long. High risk, high maintenance, low return. The same crowd that once leaned in is now giving side-eye over overpriced lattes, scrolling past lifestyle content that feels less inspiring and more forced. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Billionaires, studio heads, and real power players don't chase desperation. Lately, that's the energy this rebrand is giving off. Even the leaks aren't helping. They don't paint her as misunderstood or ahead of the curve. They paint her as overly calculated. Strategic? Yes, but not powerful. Intentional, but not inspiring. Controlled, but not confident. That difference matters. One insider reportedly said she's trying too hard to look normal, and that's where it all cracks. When authenticity has to be rehearsed, people feel it instantly. The charm thins, the act shows, and the doors that once opened automatically at the word Duchess are now closing, quietly, politely, and for good. Even elite prospects aren't biting anymore. And that's the cold reality no PR firm can spin. Here's where the story tightens even more, and the optics get sharper by the day. What once looked like distance now looks like design. Meghan's moves aren't loud, but they're consistent, and consistency is how narratives get rewritten. Notice how Harry's presence keeps shrinking. Fewer mentions, fewer frames, fewer moments where he's even referenced at all. That's not accidental, it's subtraction by strategy. When someone wants a clean reset, they don't explode the bridge, they quietly stop walking across it.
Meghan ruined Harry. Now that the once carefree, fun-loving prince has turned into a miserable moaner, lashing out from the depths of his paranoia at a world he thinks is conspiring against.
What's being built now isn't chaos, it's a transition. Soft visuals, neutral language, carefully chosen words like growth, peace, and next chapter popping up again and again. Those aren't emotional slips, they're positioning terms. And while Meghan leans into that forward-facing energy, Harry stays rooted in legacy language. Duty, service, history, purpose. Two people talking in totally different timelines. One is selling what's next, the other is defending what was. That gap matters, because brands don't survive on nostalgia alone. And lately, Harry's role feels less like a partner and more like a reminder of an era that's being phased out. Insiders aren't framing this as a breakup. They're framing it as evolution. And that word gets used when someone wants sympathy without responsibility, when they want out without backlash. It's subtle, but it's effective. What's missing says more than what's spoken. No we, no future plans together, no shared vision language, just parallel paths drifting further apart under the same headline. And let's be real, Hollywood clocks this stuff fast. Power rooms read silence like fine print. When someone stops bringing their partner into the room, people assume the partner isn't coming back. Harry still shows up with heart, but heart doesn't run industries. Meghan shows up with polish, timing, and control, and that's the currency she's betting on. But here's the risk. When reinvention moves faster than authenticity, people start questioning motive. And that's when curiosity turns into skepticism. Because the audience isn't stupid. They see the edits, they feel the spacing, they notice when someone disappears from the story without explanation. Right now, this isn't playing like reinvention. It's playing like distance dressed as empowerment. And that line is thinner than most people think. If this were about healing together, the messaging would reflect unity. If it were about growth as a couple, there'd be alignment. But what we're seeing is separation without acknowledgement. And that's the loudest signal of all. Harry is still protecting the image of us. Meghan is already selling the idea of me. And once those lanes split, there's no merging them back without cost. This isn't sudden, it's structured. And when structure replaces emotion, the ending is usually already written, even if it hasn't been announced yet. Men at that level can read intention fast. And right now, Meghan is broadcasting motive.
A new poll reveals that the declining arc of Harry's popularity has accelerated into a high-speed plummet.
Not romance, not partnership, pure motive. The kind that feels less like love and more like an exit strategy with a glossy label slapped on it. Then came that panel moment, the recycled dish soap story. Again, same rhythm, same pauses, same delivery. But this time the room didn't clap, and it wasn't awkward silence either. It was recognition, the kind that hits when people realize they've heard the same story one too many times. When a narrative doesn't evolve, it stops inspiring and starts feeling frozen in place. The reaction afterward wasn't criticism, it was disengagement. And in Hollywood, that's the real ending. Once the strings become visible, the performance is done. Not because someone took a bold risk, but because the act wore thin. This isn't backlash, it's fatigue. Fatigue from repetition, from recycled messaging, from watching someone insist they're evolving while repeating the same beats. No one announces that shift out loud. It happens quietly, cleanly, no drama. The industry just moves on. And that's where we are now. No paperwork announced, no public declarations, but one thing feels clear. This marriage looks over in spirit. Meghan already exited in energy and branding and body language. Harry, meanwhile, looks like someone still standing on set long after the cameras stopped rolling, wondering when his co-star slipped out the side door. This isn't a rough patch. It looks like a controlled demolition, a soft launch separation dressed up as independence. Meghan appears to already be boarding another flight. Perfect lighting, calm expression, no visible baggage. Harry still seems stuck at the gate waiting for a boarding call that isn't coming. And the signs aren't subtle, they're everywhere. The blinks, the silence, the leaks. This wasn't a fairy tale that accidentally unraveled. It looks more like a calculated partnership nearing its expiration date. Meghan is moving forward, Harry is looking backward. And the chapter he's trying to protect, it already feels closed. So here's the real question people keep circling. Was this the boldest royal hustle of the decade? Or did Harry believe in a story that was never really centered on him in the first place? If you watch this and have thoughts, drop them in the comments below. If this breakdown made you see things differently, hit subscribe and stay locked in for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who needs to see it.